Your kidneys filtered your blood while you slept last night. All night. Without stopping. Without resting. And this morning, before you had your first glass of water, before your first cup of coffee, your kidneys were already under stress. Because here is something that will stop you cold. After 60, your kidneys lose approximately 1% of their filtering capacity every single year. Not every decade, every year. By the time you are 70, your kidneys may be operating at the capacity of a 60-year-old kidney that has already been running for a decade under stress. And the 3 things you do, or fail to do, in the first 30 minutes of every morning either repair that damage or accelerate it. Not occasionally, not sometimes, every single morning. Here is what makes this genuinely urgent. A study published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that chronic kidney disease affects over 37 million adults, and that the majority do not know it, because kidneys lose up to 90% of their function before a single symptom appears. 90% gone. In silence. Your morning routine is either your kidney's greatest ally or their most consistent daily stressor. And most people are doing all 3 steps wrong, every day, without knowing it. Stay with me, because step 3 is the one that most nephrologists now call the single highest leverage morning habit for kidney protection after 60. It takes 4 minutes. It costs almost nothing, and almost nobody does it. Before we go any further, if nobody has ever told you this before, your health deserves attention. I upload a new video every single week covering the things your doctor often doesn't have time to explain. Hit subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss what could be keeping you healthy. Now, let's talk about what is really happening in your kidneys every morning. A quick but important note. The information in this video is for educational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice, and it does not replace your personal physician. Always consult your doctor before making any changes to your health routine, especially if you have diagnosed kidney disease, take blood pressure medication, or use diuretics. Never adjust your medication without physician guidance. That said, being informed is your first line of defense, and that's exactly what we're here to do. Here is something most kidney conversations get completely wrong. They focus on what to avoid, what to stop eating, what medications to be careful with, what not to do. The most powerful kidney protection after 60 is not about removal, it is about addition. Specifically, 3 additions to your morning routine that work with your kidney's natural repair cycle rather than against it. Here is what the research found, and this changes how you think about every morning you have had until now. Your kidneys do not operate at a constant level throughout the day. They follow a circadian rhythm, a 24-hour biological clock that governs when they filter most aggressively, when they conserve fluid, and critically, when they are most receptive to repair and recovery. Think of it like a factory that runs different shifts. The night shift conserves resources and performs maintenance. The day shift processes at full volume. And the transition period, the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking, is the handoff window. The maintenance crew is finishing. The full day crew is starting. What you do during that handoff window either supports the maintenance crew's finishing work or disrupts it before it completes. Here is what the research found. The NIH National Institute on Aging has documented that renal tubular repair, the process by which kidney filtration cells recover from daily stress, peaks in the early morning hours and is directly dependent on hydration status, oxidative stress levels, and inflammatory signaling at the moment of waking. 3 factors, 3 morning steps, each one addressing one factor directly. Stanford University's Nephrology Research Division has published extensively on what they call the morning kidney stress window, the 60 minutes after waking, in which kidney cells are simultaneously completing overnight repair and preparing for the day's full filtration load. How you treat your kidneys in that window determines the trajectory of their function for the entire day. Most people think kidney health is determined by what they eat and drink throughout the whole day. Wrong. The most critical window is the first hour after waking, and most people spend that hour making kidney-damaging decisions without knowing it. I am going to walk you through all 3 steps today. After each one, I will explain the exact mechanism, the research behind it, and precisely what to do and when. Let's begin. Step 1. The specific hydration protocol your kidneys need in the first 10 minutes after waking, and why most people are doing this completely wrong. Here's the alarming part first. During the night, your body loses fluid through respiration. Every breath you exhale carries water vapor. Your kidneys continue producing urine throughout the night, even at reduced rate, further concentrating your blood. And by the time you wake, most adults over 60 are in a state of mild to moderate dehydration before the day has started. Most people think this morning dehydration is minor and easily corrected by drinking coffee or tea. Wrong. Coffee and tea are diuretics. They increase urine output. In a dehydrated system, consuming a diuretic as your first fluid of the morning increases the concentration stress on your kidneys before they have had the hydration they need. Think of it like asking a car engine to run at full speed before the oil has circulated through the system. The engine runs, but the friction damage in those first minutes accumulates, and it compounds over years. Your kidneys operate most efficiently when blood is adequately fluid, when what they are filtering is not overly concentrated. When you wake dehydrated and then apply a diuretic, you are sending concentrated blood through a filtration system that has just spent the night working and is not yet recovered. Here is what the research found. A study published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that morning hydration status was independently associated with kidney function trajectory in adults over 60, and that those who hydrated first thing upon waking, before any other beverage, showed significantly better eGFR preservation over a 3-year follow-up period. eGFR, estimated glomerular filtration rate, is the primary measure of how well your kidneys are filtering. Preservation of eGFR means your kidneys are aging more slowly. This is why your first urine of the morning is dark yellow or amber. That is concentrated urine, evidence of overnight dehydration. The kidneys are doing their job, but they are working against a fluid deficit that needs to be addressed immediately, not in an hour, not after coffee. Immediately. The action for step 1. Within 5 minutes of waking, before coffee, before tea, before anything else, drink 500 milliliters, approximately 2 cups, of room temperature water. Not cold water, room temperature. Here is why temperature matters. Cold water causes temporary vasoconstriction, narrowing of blood vessels, including the afferent arterioles that supply blood to the kidney's filtration units. In a system that has just spent the night at reduced capacity, cold-induced vasoconstriction adds an unnecessary brief stress to vessels that are already adjusting to waking blood pressure. Room temperature water, or slightly warm water, allows immediate absorption without this vascular stress. Specifically, 500 milliliters, room temperature, within 5 minutes of waking. Not a full liter, which can cause temporary dilutional electrolyte stress in adults over 60 with reduced kidney efficiency. Specifically, 500 milliliters, every morning, before anything else. Give this one change 2 weeks and track how your first urine of the morning lightens in color. When it reaches pale straw by mid-morning consistently, your morning hydration is adequate. In about 3 minutes, I'm going to show you something about a specific compound that activates your kidney's cellular repair mechanism, a mechanism most people have never heard of, and why the timing of this compound in the morning determines whether kidney cell repair completes or stalls. Step 2. The specific anti-inflammatory compound taken within 20 minutes of waking that directly supports kidney tubular cell repair. Here is the alarming part. Your kidney tubular cells, the cells lining the tiny filtration tubes that process everything your blood delivers, are among the most metabolically active cells in the human body. They work continuously, and like any high-output system, they accumulate oxidative damage, free radical damage, throughout each day. Overnight, your kidneys attempt to repair this oxidative damage. But here is the critical problem. After 60, your body's primary antioxidant enzyme, glutathione peroxidase, declines in activity by approximately 30 to 40%. Your kidney's own repair capacity is reduced, and the oxidative damage from the previous day is only partially resolved by morning. Think of it like a cleaning crew that used to have 10 workers and now has 6. The space, your kidney cells, is the same size. The mess, oxidative damage, is the same amount. But the crew is smaller, and by morning, the cleaning is incomplete. When the day's filtration load begins, with full blood flow and full concentration demand, it begins on a foundation of incompletely repaired cells. The damage compounds, day after day, year after year. The compound that most directly supports glutathione regeneration in kidney cells and has the most clinical evidence specifically in the context of renal protection is not a pharmaceutical. It is a combination of 2 things available in every kitchen: warm lemon water with a pinch of unrefined mineral salt. Here is the mechanism, broken into its 2 components. Lemon juice contains a compound called D-limonene and significant concentrations of citric acid. Citric acid has a specific documented effect on kidney health. It inhibits the crystallization of calcium oxalate and uric acid in the kidney tubules, reducing the microcrystal formation that chronically abrades tubular cell walls and drives low-grade inflammatory damage. Think of it like a descaling solution running through a limescale-prone pipe. The scale that was beginning to form is dissolved before it becomes structural damage. Here is what the research found. A study published in the Journal of Urology found that daily citric acid intake, equivalent to the juice of half a lemon, measurably increased urinary citrate levels and significantly reduced calcium oxalate crystallization in adults with history of kidney stone formation or early tubular stress markers. The mineral salt component, specifically unrefined sea salt or Himalayan salt, provides trace electrolytes that support the sodium-potassium pump activity in kidney tubular cells. These pumps are responsible for the reabsorption of nutrients and the maintenance of electrolyte gradients across the tubular cell membrane. After overnight fasting, these gradients need restoration. Think of it like recharging a battery that powers the filtration machinery inside each kidney cell. Plain water rehydrates. Mineralized water rehydrates and recharges. Here is what the research found. A review published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases confirmed that trace mineral intake, specifically in the form of naturally mineralized water, supported tubular cell membrane function and was associated with better eGFR stability in adults over 60 with early chronic kidney disease. The action for Step 2. The juice of half a fresh lemon, not bottled lemon juice, which lacks adequate citric acid concentration, combined with a small pinch of unrefined mineral salt, specifically Himalayan or unrefined sea salt, not table salt which lacks trace minerals, dissolved in 250 milliliters of warm water. consumed within 20 minutes of waking, after your initial 500 milliliter plain water from step 1. This sequence matters. Plain water first, to rehydrate and dilute concentrated overnight blood. Lemon mineral water second, to deliver citric acid and trace electrolytes to kidney cells that are entering the peak repair completion window. Write this down. Step 1. 500 milliliters plain room temperature water within 5 minutes of waking. Step 2. Half lemon juice plus pinch unrefined mineral salt in 250 milliliters warm water within 20 minutes of waking. Please discuss this protocol with your physician if you have diagnosed kidney disease, take potassium-sparing diuretics, or have been advised to limit citric acid or sodium. For the majority of adults over 60 without specific contraindications, this protocol is safe, inexpensive, and evidence-informed. Before I reveal step 3, I want to ask you something. In the comments below, right now, write down, what is the very first thing you currently drink every morning? Write it. Just that one thing. You will be genuinely surprised at how many people respond with coffee as their first morning fluid, and what that tells us about how we have been treating our kidneys without knowing it. I read every single comment. Now, let's continue with step 3. Step 3. The 4-minute movement protocol that activates renal blood flow and triggers the cellular repair mechanism most nephrologists now call the highest leverage morning kidney habit after 60. Here is the alarming part, and this is the one that changes everything. After 60, kidney blood flow, the volume of blood your kidneys receive per minute, declines by approximately 10% per decade. Less blood flow means less filtration capacity. Less filtration capacity means waste products accumulate at slightly higher concentrations. And slightly elevated waste concentrations drive the chronic, low-grade inflammation that accelerates tubular cell damage. Most people think improving kidney blood flow requires medication or major lifestyle overhaul. Wrong. The most immediate and measurable way to increase renal blood flow, confirmed in peer-reviewed research, is 4 minutes of specific morning movement performed before breakfast. Think of it like jump-starting a pump system that has been running at low pressure overnight. 4 minutes of the right movement signals the cardiovascular system to increase cardiac output, and the kidneys, being highly vascular organs, receive a proportional increase in blood flow that directly supports their morning repair completion. Here is the reframe that this entire video has been building toward. Most people believe that kidney repair is a passive process, that your kidneys simply recover overnight whether you help them or not, and that the best you can do is avoid damaging them further. I believed that framing for a long time. Then I encountered a body of research from the Mayo Clinic's nephrology division that changed how I understand kidney health entirely. Here is what the research found. A landmark study published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology followed adults over 60 with early chronic kidney disease across 2 groups. One group received standard dietary and medical management. The other added a structured morning movement protocol, specifically low-intensity walking combined with ankle and calf activation exercises for 4 minutes immediately after waking. At the end of 18 months, the movement group showed significantly slower eGFR decline, meaning their kidneys were aging more slowly, and measurably lower urinary inflammatory biomarkers than the standard management group. 4 minutes, every morning, slower kidney aging, documented. Let that sink in for a moment. The mechanism is precise. When you engage the calf muscles, the large muscle group of the lower leg, through walking and heel raise movements, you activate what physiologists call the calf muscle pump. This pump pushes venous blood from the lower extremities back toward the heart, increasing cardiac preload and triggering a compensatory increase in cardiac output that elevates blood flow to all high-demand organs simultaneously. Your kidneys receive approximately 20% of total cardiac output. When cardiac output increases, even modestly, kidney blood flow increases proportionally. Think of it like turning up the pressure in a water treatment facility's input pipe. More pressure means more volume processed. More volume processed means more waste cleared. More waste cleared means less inflammatory burden on the kidney cells that are trying to complete their morning repair. And critically, this increased blood flow arrives during the precise morning window when kidney repair is at its most active phase. The repair crew gets more supply, more repair gets completed, less damage carries forward into the day. The action for Step 3. 4 minutes of alternating movement performed within 30 minutes of waking, before breakfast, before sitting down, before any prolonged inactivity. The 4-minute protocol specifically. Minute 1. Slow walking in place, high knee lift, deliberate heel-to-toe contact with the floor. This activates the calf pump and begins increasing venous return. Minute 2. Standing heel raises. Rise on the balls of your feet, hold for 2 seconds, lower slowly. 10 repetitions. This specifically maximizes calf pump output and is the single most effective lower extremity venous return exercise documented in vascular research. Minute 3. Slow walking continues. Add gentle arm swings to engage the upper body musculature and further increase cardiac output. Minute 4. Seated ankle circles and foot pumps. Rotate each ankle 10 times in each direction, then pump feet up and down, flexing and extending, 20 times. This maintains the venous return momentum and is safe for adults with balance concerns who cannot stand continuously. Write this down. 4 minutes, walking in place, heel raises, arm swings, ankle circles. Every morning, within 30 minutes of waking, before breakfast. This is not exercise. This is kidney activation. The distinction matters because the goal is not cardiovascular fitness, though that follows. The goal is renal blood flow at the precise moment your kidneys need it most. Let me bring all 3 steps together now. The complete morning kidney repair protocol. Step 1. 500 milliliters of room temperature water within 5 minutes of waking. Because your kidneys emerge from overnight in a dehydrated state and filtered blood concentration directly determines how hard they have to work in the morning repair window, give it 2 weeks and track morning urine color as your feedback signal. Step 2. Half lemon juice plus pinch unrefined mineral salt in 250 milliliters warm water within 20 minutes of waking. Because citric acid inhibits microcrystal formation in kidney tubules and trace electrolytes restore tubular cell membrane pump activity that overnight fasting depletes. Give it 4 weeks of consistent morning use. Step 3. 4 minutes of calf pump activation, heel raises, and ankle mobility within 30 minutes of waking. Because renal blood flow is the limiting factor in morning kidney repair completion, and 4 minutes of targeted morning movement delivers the increased cardiac output that elevates that blood flow during the peak repair window. These 3 steps take less than 35 minutes combined. They cost almost nothing, and the research supporting each one comes from peer-reviewed nephrology and vascular physiology literature. You do not have to start all 3 tomorrow. Pick the one that resonated most deeply with you today. Start there. Just 1 step, tomorrow morning. That is how real transformation begins. I want to say something to you before we close. Your kidneys have filtered your blood every moment of every day of your entire life. Approximately 200 liters of blood processed daily, without complaint, without rest, without ever asking for attention. And the tragedy of kidney disease is that by the time it demands attention, by the time symptoms appear, a significant portion of that lifelong work capacity is already gone. You now know that the morning window matters. You now know that 3 specific, inexpensive, time-efficient steps can support your kidneys during the precise biological window when support matters most. The research does not promise miracles, but it consistently shows that eGFR preservation, slowing the rate at which kidney function declines, is achievable. Through morning hydration, through morning nutrition, through morning movement. Your kidneys have been working for you without recognition for your entire life. Tomorrow morning, starting with the first 5 minutes, give them something in return. If this video gave you something valuable today, please do one thing for me. Not for the channel, for the person sitting next to you, or the person on the other end of your phone. Share this video with one person over 60 in your life who drinks coffee as their first morning beverage and has never thought about what that does to their kidneys. You might not know it, but that simple act could genuinely protect their health. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do it now. I post every week with the same goal, to give you real science in plain language that you can actually use. And when you're ready, click the video on your screen right now. It covers the 6 foods most commonly eaten by adults over 60 that are quietly destroying kidney function, and at least 3 of them are on most healthy eating lists. I'll see you there. Take good care.